Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sierra. Thank you so much for joining us today. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of COVERGIRL, and it's also going to be a full face, or mostly a full face of first impressions. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So yeah, I went to Walmart, got some stuff, spent too much money, to be realistic, but I need to declutter a lot of my stuff, so this will be replacing some older stuff. And also actually let me know if you guys want to see a declutter video, because that might be fun. I can show you what I'm throwing it or getting rid of, throwing out, whether it's just I used it up, it's expired, or I just didn't like the product and haven't gotten around to getting rid of it yet. So yeah, I'm gonna start with brows, I think. And I've got this, sorry, I'm trying to get all my stuff organized. So I've got this Easy Breezy Brow Micro Fine and Define Pencil. I've used this before. It works pretty good. This is in the color Soft Brown, which is, I don't know if it's the only shade they have, but it's the only one they ever have at my Walmart, which is annoying, but that's a whole nother thing. And then I also got this powder. This is the, I just opened it up, but so it's this green one here, and it's the Clean Sensitive Skin Fragrance Free Oil Free Pressed Powder. That's what the packaging looks like. Obviously this is supposed to be in it, but yeah. Just because I need the mirror right now, so I'm going to use that. But yeah, so go ahead and brush out my brows. They really need to get done right now, but I just haven't had the time. And I'll start filling them in. So COVERGIRL just recently went cruelty-free, which is amazing and incredible. So I really wanted to do a dedicated video for them, as well as so I am trying to, or I'm only buying cruelty-free products now. And then, so obviously I'm not gonna just like throw out good product because it's not cruelty-free, but I'm just not gonna be repurchasing it anymore. I am just recently a vegan now. I know I've talked about being vegetarian, but I have gone vegan for the 2019 year. So I'm just going to finish filling in my brows. I mean, you guys don't really need to see this part, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm all done with the brows. Again, it's not my favorite brow product. It's a good pencil, but the color's just not dark enough for me. But I do actually like using this as like a base if I want to have more natural brows compared to like my dip brow, super big brows. But yeah, so there's that. Moving on to foundation. This came out quite a while ago, but I haven't tried it. So it's the COVERGIRL Vitalist Elixir. It's foundation and SPF. Even though SPF and foundation doesn't really do anything, and it's in the shade 605, which is ivory. And that's the lightest shade it comes in. So I'm gonna do half of my face with a beauty blender, and then the other half with my Real Techniques brush. I don't know what this one's called, but it's tapered, and I really like this one for foundation, just to see if it's much of a difference or what. So I sprayed down my beauty blender, make it nice and damp again. And I'm not using any primer, but I never ever use primer unless I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I use primer, but it really doesn't make any difference to me, or I can't see a difference. But I'm all moisturized and all that, which is important. You'll see, like, as you guys can see, I have some pretty bad skin right now, so we'll see how this covers. It says it's full coverage, so again, we'll see. I definitely dealt way too much for just doing half of my face with the Beauty Blender. I'm gonna do that, and this is still too much for my face, but we've got to put it on the neck, so we'll see. I'm just gonna do all of my neck with the Beauty Blender because, like I said, I pumped out too much foundation. So first thoughts, it smells good. I don't know if it actually has a smell in it. And it could be the spray I just sprayed on my blender, but yeah, I don't know, it smells pretty nice. So I've heard pretty good things about this foundation, so I've got decently high hopes for it, which could be setting myself up for failure, but so the coverage is decent. I can't decide if I think if it's full coverage. Stuff is still peeking through. Like it's hard to tell with my lights, but I've got some discoloration where I've got some acne still, but that's not bad. It's similar coverage to my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, maybe a little bit lighter than that, so more of a medium coverage. It was sitting kind of weird on my skin at first, but now that it's starting to go in, it's looking better. So now with this side, I've got this glob on my face. I'm gonna go in with my brush. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like it with the brush. So I'm gonna fix that with my blender. I'm pretty bad, like my skin has been awful lately. So all foundations do kind of sit weird on my skin. Not. I like it. It's a nice, not quite dewy, but it's a really nice kind of glowy finish. Moving on, I've got this. This is a new product, or at least it says it's new. So this is the new Vitalist Healthy Concealer. So let's see, my lights are a bit bright. Yeah, so it looks like that. I'm in 775 Fair. So it is a brush, which I don't like. With a little like, yeah, just twisting. I feel like this is going to take me 10 years to get that product for the brush, so yeah, like there's a huge gap and I'm like okay, I want the brush. Okay, so my brush is under my eyes. First thoughts, it's pretty yellow. I don't know. I didn't actually, like there wasn't, I don't know if the shade had a description. I'm gonna look quickly because that could be my bad that I just grabbed like a more yellow undertone. Oh, and it does, by the way, have vitamin E, B3, and E5, so that should be good. Okay, it does say it's supposed to brighten your complexion, so the yellow makes sense for brightening. I mean, yellow undertones don't bother me at all. I actually kind of prefer them because it makes me, I wish I was more tan. But that does mean it's going to be a concealer that's only good for brightening. Like, it's probably not going to conceal my pimples very well. And I didn't read if it said what kind of coverage it is. And it doesn't say. It does say it's supposed to improve your skin's texture for a fresh, healthy look. So, I mean, my skin's terrible. We'll see. This is definitely a light coverage concealer, which I don't mind. I'm on the Stephanie Ravendall kick of I just want my skin to be dewy and natural looking. Which I've always wanted dewy but natural, like coverage. Who am I? Okay, yeah, that looks terrible over acne. And I kind of felt like it removed a little bit of coverage under my eyes. I'm going to add a second layer under my eyes and see. Okay. After some technical difficulties, and by technical difficulties I mean my memory card running out of room and then me spilling an entire cup of tea on the ground. I'm back. And oh my god, there's so much here still. I'm not happy. Anyways, but I will say I'm pretty happy about this foundation. I'm gonna get up and personal here with the camera so you guys can maybe turn up my phone. So I did add more foundation across this area where I have some pretty bad hormonal breakouts. It's a very natural finish. It's not dewy anymore. It pretty much set itself down. And it actually had time to set down because I was cleaning the tea, which I don't usually really let a foundation set before I set it with powder. So I'm kind of interested. It looks pretty good. My under eyes are a little bit creasy, but I have creasy under eyes, so there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes though, using this powder I've been using as the mirror that I talked about earlier. It's quite powdery. I don't know if the camera catches that or not, but it is very powdery. I think I was hoping though, I know that there's a powder that Thomas Halbert talks about, and I'm pretty sure Stephanie Lita. And I was hoping it was this one. I was like in the store trying to go through their videos quickly to see if I could figure it out. And I couldn't, but yeah. So I'm just setting my under eyes. And then I am gonna set where the acne is because I really don't want that foundation to move. But I do want the rest of my face to be a little bit more dewy. Okay, moving on to the rest of my face. I got this True Blend Serving Sculpt Palette. So it looks like that. And it's got a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight in it. So the bronzer is quite light, so of course it wouldn't work for every skin tone. They do have like single packed bronzers. I didn't look at them too much, but I'm assuming they go darker because CoverGirl has a pretty good shade range most of the time. Don't quote me on that. So that's what it looks like, but I'm a pale girl, so you know, this will work for me. And I just said I didn't want to set down the rest of my face, and I'm going to end up setting it with powder using this anyways. But yeah, I don't want to add tons of powder because I just want to be a dewy queen. Okay, and with the bronzer, I'm using this Morphe R2 brush. Again, quite powdery. That's not necessarily a bad thing though. I like the color. This brush is a little bit wet from cleaning it, so I am going to switch to this one. It's just a pointed brush. I think it's a good color for my skin tone. Okay, so I actually really like that. I think it's a good color for me. It looks pretty natural. It's pretty. Okay. Moving on to the blush. I'm using this Morphe R14. This is my favorite blush brush at the moment. It changes all the time though, so. I do think the blush is pretty. It's got a bit of a sheen to it, which if my skin was normal right now would look really nice. But because I am having really bad skin issues lately, it's emphasizing my texture a little bit. Nothing like crazy, but I'm just going to go over it with a little bit more powder. Just really lightly, like I barely even touched it into this. I guess more to blend it. You know what though? I don't think it's emphasizing anything more than any other powder does. Like I said, my skin is just really bad right now. Moving on anyways to the highlight. I am a little bit worried that this highlight is going to be a bit dark for me. It looks really bright on with the like, because I've got my ring light on, so it's obviously reflecting, but it's quite pink in person. So I'm just gonna go in with a really light hand. It's got a lot of sheen though, like you can see that. I think it's pretty. I do have to be quite light-handed with it because like I said, it's quite pink in person. So that's something to be wary of. This is called Bloom Babe, by the way, and it does say that it is for fair to light skin tones. So I don't know if maybe they make this in a darker version. Like I kind of mentioned, my Walmart's really bad about carrying stock. So yeah, let's use. This was something that I didn't buy new because I already have this True Naked Sunsets palette. I've talked about this before in my back to school affordable video. This is a really pretty palette, very much more of my go-to shades. So I'm going to use that. Oh, do I need to set? I do need to set my eyelids a bit, or at least blend out these creases here, because we don't want to set a crease. So I'm just quickly with the powder gonna go over my eyes with that. Okay, so I'm going to keep it pretty simple with this, because I've used this before, but we want to finish out the look. I am using a MAC 22 floor brush. So I'm gonna start with this kind of orangey red shade there. I've said this before that I do wish this palette had a lighter transition shade, but you could always use your bronzer. I don't really feel like that right now though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go in. This palette is extremely pigmented, which is amazing. This is, like I said, one of my favorite products from the drugstore just in general. I think it's great shades and extremely pigmented for the price. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to keep this really simple. I've used this palette lots of times before, and I'm a little bit conflicted. I'm not sure if I want to go for like a classic look and just use like the champagne shade all over the lid, or if I want to make it a little bit smokier and use this kind of bronze brick color in the middle that's kind of shimmery. You know what, it actually doesn't look like I've ever used the bronzy color, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over my lid. And I'm gonna tap it off because this looks quite powdery. So just to finish off my eye quickly, I'm gonna use that first color underneath. And then I am going to use this lightest champagne shimmery color, which you can't really see. Here we go. And I'm going to use that in my inner corner and under my brow bone. So let's see. Okay, so I've got this Peacock Flare mascara. I'm actually really excited to try this. I really needed a new mascara, so that's kind of actually what gave me the idea for this video, because I needed a new mascara. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like this brush much. It's quite fat with small prickly bristles, but I'm not going to judge it until I try it. The formula, I mean, I haven't used it yet obviously, but pulling it out of the tube feels like it's pretty nice, and that it's more of a dry, tacky rather than a wet formula. So okay, so I like the mascara. I'll get you guys close up in a second here. I'm gonna go, sorry, I should not talk while the mirror's right in front of my face. I'm gonna finish off my other eye and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I just looked and I don't actually have any lipstick. I forgot to buy one. And I mean, I have enough lipstick lipstick. Let's be realistic. The only CoverGirl lipstick I have is this Katy Perry black one. So I'm not gonna put that on because it doesn't really go with what look we're going for today. So I'm just going to put on this Makeup Geek Cream Stain, and this is in the shade Showstopper. If anyone's wondering, but this is just to pull the whole look together. Okay, so all finished with the look. I'm gonna get up close and personal so you guys can see how everything is looking. So, final thoughts. Let's start. Brow pencil. Liked it. It's not the right color for me, obviously. I have dark hair. I need a darker eyebrow pencil. But it's a good formula, so if you can get one in your shade, it's good. I would be curious just to try maybe some of their other brow products. I know they have some gels and stuff. I'd be interested to see if they came out with a pomade or if they actually already, I don't know if they have one, I don't think so. I've never seen one, so yeah. Foundation, I need to look at myself a little bit more. I like it. It's not emphasizing anything too much. My skin's, like I've said a million times, it's not good right now, so it's hard to really say if it's emphasizing anything, but I don't think it is. I think it has good coverage. It's definitely medium, not full. I like this powder. I think it looks really nice under my eyes, which my under eyes have been looking really dry lately. This little duo, I liked all of it except for the highlight. I think is too dark, and I mean it looks okay still, but it definitely isn't as bright as it was before. So this, love it. This is a really great palette. This is definitely the best drugstore palette I've tried. Yeah, I didn't use any eyeliner. I'm super picky about eyeliners, so I really wasn't gonna bother because I knew I wasn't gonna like it and I didn't want to waste my money. This Peacock Flare mascara, I like it. I definitely need to see how it wears. I think it definitely made my eyelashes really black, and they look long and pretty voluminous. Let's see if I can just do a quick, so you can see, like they look, I think they look pretty good for being just mascara. I didn't curl them or anything. I never curl my eyelashes, and you can actually see my under eye here too. So that looks actually pretty smooth, especially considering how textured my skin is right now. So overall, all good things. I do want to say I do like their Katy Kat matte lipstick. This one, when I wore it, I mean it's a black, but it's not matte. So I don't know if, like, I mean, I know they have some other mattes. I don't know if they're matte or not though. I found it quite creamy, not matte. And yeah, I found it's not long wearing at all, but it was comfortable. Like I said, I haven't tried much of their lipsticks, so I can't speak on that too much. Overall though, it was surprisingly successful, and yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, everything. Let me know if you want to see a declutter video like I mentioned before. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.